Hi, and welcome to this casual Fridays edition to Torah from the office. Yesterday, we got into a discussion downstairs about what it means to be a Jew, what it means to be Jewish. And everybody has their own opinion. Some say it means you're Moroccan, some say it means you're Ashkenaz, some say it means you're secular, religious, Orthodox, conservative. These are all labels, but that doesn't really capture the essence of what it means to be Jewish. So we're going to go and find out exactly what it means and where we come from and who we are. Let's go back 4,000 years to when the world was an absolute chaotic place. There was no order, there was no law, there was thievery, there was adultery, there was idolatry, there was lying, there was falsehood in the land. There was cheating, there was no law, there was no rule, there was no order, there was no morality. And then came a man who saw everybody bowing down to statues and bowing down to idols, and he said, How could this mere statue be what is creating the world? It doesn't make sense to me. How could a statue make the moon, and make the sun, and make everything? And this man was Abraham. And God saw that Abraham was trying to make an effort, and God saw that he was not bowing down to idols, and God decided that with Abraham, he was going to bestow his blessing. So the first point where Abraham is found in the Torah, it goes like this: Vayamar Adonai el Avram, lech lecha ma'artzecha umimoladetecha umibeit avicha el haaretz asher arecha. Hashem said to Abraham, Go for yourself from your land, from your relatives, and from your father's house to the land that I will show you, Israel. And I will make for you a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who curses you I will curse, and all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you. So Abraham was the first, not necessarily the first Jewish person, but he was the first person to stop bowing down to idols. He was the first person to start this monotheism as we know it today, which is the concept of one God. Abraham starts his journey, and Abraham has a son Isaac, and Isaac has a son Jacob, and Jacob has a son Joseph. Now Joseph rose to the top echelons of Egyptian monarchy. He was the right-hand man of Pharaoh. And in Egypt, he was the one who distributed all the food and made sure that everything ran smoothly during their times of famine. Now after Pharaoh died, and Joseph's children in Egypt, the Jewish children in Egypt kept on growing and growing and growing, the Pharaoh said, We have a problem here. So they decided to enslave the Jewish people. They decided to start throwing the Jewish children into the river to try to kill them, to try to limit their population. The Jewish people let out a great cry. And that's when Moses comes into the picture. God came to Moses in the burning bush and told him that you are going to be the one who's going to take out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt. So with the great plagues and the mighty hand, God took us out, and they crossed the ocean split, and the children of Israel came out into the desert with a great cry. And that is exactly when the birth of the Jewish people, the Jewish children, happened. Usually the birth of a nation is when a nation conquers another country, and then all of a sudden they become a nation. But it's the opposite. For us, it was when we were taken out of another nation, that's when we became a nation. And we wandered through the desert until we received the Torah from Mount Sinai. We were touched. For a brief moment in history, God pulled back the curtain and revealed himself to us and said, I exist. And there is a way to live your life, and it is a life of morality. It is a life of goodness. There are laws that I have made for you, and you are responsible to follow them and bring them to the world. So then the Jewish people, as a nation, came out of the desert, out of nowhere, with this book in their hand, and all of a sudden they brought morality to the world. All of a sudden, it wasn't okay to be idolatrous. It wasn't okay to bow down to idols. It wasn't okay to steal. It wasn't okay to murder, known as the Ten Commandments. In any court of law in North America, they swear on the Bible, on the Torah. It was the book given to Moses by God himself on Mount Sinai. So then the question comes, okay, so what about Israel? Where does Israel come into the whole picture? So we just had Passover, which is when we were taken out of the land of Egypt, and a couple of days ago was Yom HaAtzmaut, which is the day Israel's birthday. So a lot of people think that Israel is ours because the United Nations gave it to us. Israel's ours because we conquered it with our military might. without any of that, it doesn't matter. Israel still belongs to the Jewish people, no matter what, forever and always. It wasn't given to us by man, it was given to us by God himself. God forbid if the UN decided tomorrow that they're going to take Israel away from the Jewish people. And if, God forbid, we get conquered by another nation tomorrow, and we get thrown off the land for thousands of years, it doesn't matter. Israel's still ours. Israel still belongs to us. Because it was God himself that gave it to us. A few thousand years ago, there was 2 temples that stood in Israel. 2 Beit HaMikdashes. This happened. It's not folk tale. It's not a story. This actually happened. This is real life. And today, if you notice, I don't know if you've been to Israel recently, from every corner of Israel leading to Jerusalem to where the Beit HaMikdash stood, the western wall, they're building train tracks. They're preparing for the Beis HaMikdash and don't even realize it. They're preparing for the building of the Beis HaMikdash and the arrival of our Mashiach, and the world doesn't even realize it. So that's what it means to be Jewish. To be taken out of another nation, to be given this mission, this great mission by God himself. To be given a Torah of truth, a Torah of emes, a Torah of life. To bring this Torah and to be a light unto the nations and to be the utmost of an example to the world. And that's what it means to be a Jew. Have a wonderful day. Shabbat Shalom. All the best. God bless you and your family. Bye-bye.